Now, organic compounds can be represented in different kind of formulas. You have empirical formula, molecular formula, skeletal formula, displayed formula, full displayed formula, or full structural formula. These are all different kinds of representations. So empirical formula, if you still remember, empirical formula can be calculated from experimental data. So empirical formula is the simplest whole number ratio. So for example, here you have carbon and hydrogen, 85% of carbon. So for you to find the empirical formula, you first write the percentage or the mass. Then you write the AR value. And then you do mass or percentage divided by AR. And then between the two numbers, you're going to divide by the smallest. So you're just going to do the mole ratio. So divide by the smallest. So this is the smallest number. And hence the empirical formula is CH2 here. So this tells us that this molecule has twice as number of hydrogen as carbon atoms. And then from the empirical formula, you can get the molecular formula. The molecular formula shows the actual number of each type of atoms. For example, here, ethanoic acid, C2H4O2. So here one molecule contains 2 carbon, 4 hydrogen, and 2 oxygen. It does not give any detail of the arrangement of the atoms in space. So molecular formula, you could have this structure here or this structure. So the molecular formula does not give you any information on the arrangement. So C2H4O2, so both of them satisfy the same molecular formula, but these are 2 different organic compounds. This is a carboxylic acid, and here you have an ester. Now you can get the molecular formula from MR values and from the empirical formula. So if in this example, so for this one, for this molecule, if we know that the MR value is 84, so from the MR you can get the molecular formula. So what you do, you just calculate the MR of empirical formula. So MR of empirical formula is 14, so 12 plus 2. MR of molecular formula, this is given 84. You can find the number of multiples there is between the empirical and the molecular formula here, so it's 6. Therefore the molecular formula is CH2 times 6 here. So this is actually C6H12. So that's the molecular formula here. Okay, so we have done this before. It's just a recap, and yeah. So for the 2 questions, I will give you to try. So you should show your workings in your copybook. Here you should get your answer C3H6, and here you should get your answer C2H4O2. Just verify your answers.